Welcome to WGVU Newsmakers. Today our guest is Christopher Steiner. He is a senior writer at Forbes magazine. He has a book coming out this summer titled $20 per Gallon. It talks about gasoline and sort of scary times ahead.
Well, not so scary. Just about how in the future inevitably the price of gas will go up, and it's going to affect everything we do. I think most people think about the price of gas and they think about how it affects them at the pump and how it affects their wallet and how much more they're spending per month. But really the changes go way beyond that. Our lifestyles are going to change in every facet. I mean, imagine a world where there's no more sushi, where there's no more outer suburbs, there's no more Disney World, there's no more affordable airfares. Imagine a retail world without Walmart. Imagine buying your produce from somebody you know rather than somebody halfway around the world. Like I said about Walmart, this is a retail network with 4,000 stores in the U.S., 6,000 suppliers, 80% of whom are in China, 7,000 trucks that move this stuff all over the country. The whole thing is built on gasoline. As the price of gas goes up, the Walmart model will become less and less tenable.
Before we get into, I want to get into the book, but why did you write this? What made you sort of say, yes, I want to write about this?
As an engineer, I'd always been interested in when people would get rid of their SUVs. At what price of gas? And I kind of thought $2, this is going to rattle people. They're going to start ditching their SUVs. But nobody seemed to care. We got to $3 per gallon. And again, people didn't seem to care. When we got to $4, things changed. People's attitudes changed. People started getting into hybrid cars and ditching their SUVs. And so I asked myself, what else is going to change as the price of gas goes up? What else in our lives? And that led me to write the book and explore all the changes that will happen. And it's really amazing how many there are.
With the price of gas rising, some people might see that as a doomsday scenario, but you say in your book that this is actually going to make our lives better. How do you mean that?
There will be a lot of positive changes from the price of gas going up, and some of them you might not expect. Stuff like obesity. Our obesity levels will go down. In fact, for every dollar the price of gas goes up, 11,000 lives will be saved that we would have lost to obesity-related diseases. There's a professor at the University of North Carolina that actually tied this relationship, the obesity rates and diseases, to the price of gas. There's another professor at Harvard who tied the price of gas into the amount of fatalities we have in road crashes. And when the price of gas hits $6, we'll actually save 16,000 lives that we would have lost normally at normal gas prices to road crashes. At $10, 20,000 lives will be spared.
When we were talking and in your book, you mentioned food is going to change. How is the price of gas going to affect food?
Food's going to change greatly. It's going to be amazing. You might live in Southwest Michigan now, but strangely, you might go to the supermarket and buy apples from New Zealand. Yet Southwest Michigan is one of the more intense orchard growing parts of America. But you eat an apple from New Zealand because for some reason it's cheaper. But it's cheaper because of cheap gas. That's the only reason. In the future, it won't be. In the future, you'll eat an apple from Southwest Michigan if you live in Southwest Michigan.
But in the book, you tell a lot of stories. You travel around. Where are some places you went?
I went a lot of places for the book. Some of them included, I worked on a UPS truck in Manhattan, an electric UPS truck in Manhattan for a day. I went and spent time talking to a caretaker at a plane graveyard in the Mojave Desert. I also went to Central Ohio and spent time at what's called a ghost box, and that's an abandoned Walmart store. When Walmart abandons a store, it's called a ghost box, and there's actually hundreds of these all around the country, more than 200 in fact, and in the future there will be a lot more.
We see what UPS is doing to prepare for this world that has less gasoline. What can average Joes, what can I do? Well, what can an average person do to prepare?
Regular people, just like me and you, they ought to just, when they start their day tomorrow and they're driving to work, they ought to ask themselves, if gas were 3 or 4 times as much, would I be able to make this same commute? Would I be willing to drive my kids as far to school? Would I be willing to drive the same distance I now drive to the store? Envision your life in a world of $8 gas or $10 gas, would you be willing to do all the things you do the same? And the answer for most of us is no.
All right, Chris Steiner, $20 per gallon. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.